Hello guys, welcome back. Now in today's video we're gonna go over the 5-star on the main roster, on the standard roster that we're gonna get in on release, okay? So we're gonna go over the value that they give you and why, okay? I'm gonna try to make it quick. I'm gonna be helped by videos that are gonna appear for some gameplay and some like specification in case I say something complicated and I need some footage to back it up, okay? So first of all, the characters that we're gonna get on the roster on day one are Nekomata, Grace, in random order, Nekomata, Grace, Soldier 11, Koleda, Lycaon, and Rina. Okay, the other characters are 4 stars and some of them are going to be free, such as Anbi, Corin, Billy, and Nicole. Okay, now, and Sokaku actually as well. Okay, now Miyabi here, you don't see it. Miyabi here, we don't know if she's gonna be in the main roster or not, if she's gonna appear in the future. She was playable in CBT 1 and 2, I believe, but she wasn't available in CBT 3. I don't know what they're doing with this character, maybe they're remaking it. She is an ice attacker, so we'll see what happens with that. But on release, we will be getting Ellen on phase 1, most likely. This is CBT 3 information, and Zuyan, which is the policewoman with the gun, which is not present here. We'll use Belle as a replacement, and on phase 2. So with that in mind, what are you rerolling for? This is going to be like free-to-play, friendly, a tier list. We're gonna go over and check all the characters, okay? The roster, standard roster, has these characters. Which characters should you reroll for, and what do they do, and which character has more value for you, right? Because not every character has the same value, considering the faction bonus and the element bonus that the game has on every character. So you need to keep that in mind, and you don't really want to miss the faction bonus or the elemental bonus. So with that in mind, let's begin, okay? So first of all, let's start with Nekomata. I feel like Nekomata is big value. First of all, this is a very fast physical attacker. She just wants to attack all the time. Her bonus is really easy to trigger because she is part of the Cunning Hairs faction, which you have plenty of characters to choose from because they're almost all free, if not all of them. Because Billy, same faction, Anbi, same faction, Nicole, same faction, are all ready for her, so they can play together. And Billy as well is physical, so even if you just pair them together, it's going to be already done with the faction bonus or with the elemental bonus. And now Corin, which is free, you can even play together because she is another assault. So we have a lot of assault units that are there for you for free that you can pair with Nekomata. So now that you have Nekomata and you have a physical team, and now you can focus on doing the assault team, which is every physical, okay? So you do physical, you can do physical, and then Nicole of your choice. So Nekomata, really fast, easy to play, let's say, because you don't really have to do anything. She has a very good dodge counter. She has a lot of a little in-depth extra attacks that you can do by holding the attack. She just like she does a back and forth. She deals a lot of frequent physical attacks, and so proccing assault is going to be really easy, especially after you do your X attack, which is your skill, if you have your faction bonus up, which you will have most of the time. So I feel like this is a good starting characters for your account, and it's going to be easy to build and easy to play. Now let's move on to Grace. I feel like Grace is going to be here for one simple reason. Grace is the only anomaly character. You know, like there's an attacker, a stun, an anomaly, and then there's a tank, right? So this is the only anomaly character in the game. The anomaly character is a character specialized in applying anomaly better than any other character, right? Better than the supports. So sure, in my opinion, Grace is really good, but the fact that she is part of the Bellowbug Industries means that you're gonna have to either pair her with another Electro character. The only Electro DPS that we have that it's easy to get is going to be Anton. but it's not that easy to get. It's a 4-star, sure, but it's not, you don't get him for free. You need to eventually get him from the pools, which is not something that you can actually plan to do, right? So keep that in mind. It's going to be kind of a hassle to build an Electro team, because we don't have a free character that we get, or a premium character that we can pull from, because Ellen is going to be Ice and Zuyan is going to be Ether. So unless you randomly get Anton while you are pulling, now if you get Anton, then she becomes S, because that way you can already ensure the faction bonus, the Electro bonus. Now Grace is doing 30% more electric damage. You're playing with Anton and GG. Now, from this point on, you can add whoever you want. They're both gonna have the full bonus, okay? So that's why I feel like Grace is gonna be here, because it's gonna be hard for you to get the characters that you need to make her work. Now, you could argue that Anbi is Electro, so she might be able to trigger this, sure, but I feel like having an Electro anomaly builder, and then you have another DPS that doesn't share the same element, now is going to become a problem, because who are you using? If you're using, let's say you're using a free character, let's say you're using Billy. Now, if you're using Billy, she's doing the electro damage. Now you are shocking, and now Billy is doing his shooting, is going to apply anomaly, a different anomaly is going to be the disruption. So it is, you are able to make Grace work, but I feel like overall, she is not the best value for you on release, in my opinion. Obviously, if you disagree, or if you have a bigger, like a more compelling argument, please let me know in the comments. In my opinion, that is why she's A. I didn't say she's bad. I'd say she's pretty good, but there are some caveats that I'm not confident in saying, like, oh yeah, sure, wow, insane, right? So in my opinion, like, if maybe A+, if I had like a mid tier between S and A, but you're gonna think about it S and A. In this current tier, I feel like A is fine. Now, move on. This is going to be a kind of controversial take. If there was like a B+ or between B and A, I would put it there. But there are very good reasons for Soldier 11 to be here. First of all, she's not super easy to play. I feel like it's probably one of the more complicated characters, not because the kit is complicated, but because it requires you to be good at the game. So if you're not good at the game, or if you're playing on the phone and you don't really feel like stressing too much, Soldier 11 gameplay is going to require you to have good timing, to nail the timing, to play well in order to do all the fire damage. If you do, she does well, but there is another problem for Soldier 11, which is the fact that she doesn't have many characters. The roster on start, the main roster on release, is not good for her. The only other two characters that are fire are Koleda and Ben. And Koleda is another 5-star character, and Ben, you might not even find them, right? Even if you find them, it's going to be a really, really hard team to compose, because Ben is a tank. Ben is not going to provide much besides tanking, and you don't really need tanking early game, so it's not going to feel the best if you have Soldier 11. So if you are here rerolling, I feel like Soldier 11 is going to be a reroll. Ooh, I got Soldier 11, let me reroll. Not because she's bad, but because the roster doesn't help her, okay? So think about that a little bit, and it would make way more sense, okay? So this is Soldier 11. The reason why she's B is because for now we don't really have many characters. Also, her faction is a weird one. No one else shares the same faction as her, okay? So that's another problem, because if she had another faction of another element or something, you could at least use that other character, but no. She has like Olobog or some shit, Bolog. I don't know. I don't remember the faction is some weird name. We don't know who she is, right? So Soldier 11, Koleda. Now Koleda, Koleda is a lot. In my opinion, is between B and A. Okay. The reason why is that, again, fire characters are suffering in this on release, in my opinion. The only 2 fire characters are 11 that are 5 stars are 11 and Koleda. They're not the same faction, so you need to play them together to make them work, unless you're playing with Ben. Now Koleda and Ben, they're probably like here or like in between B and A, because they function together, and Koleda has like some unique animations in conjunction with Ben. So if you have them both, it's going to be really fun to play. It's going to be really nice, and we have a little bit of a glimpse of what's to come in the future, I feel like, because the way they work together and the way their animation change if they play together. It's like a little bit of a teaser, in my opinion, of what's to come in the future, like synergistic units that work together and they change dramatically the gameplay because they are in the same squad. That's really, really cool, in my opinion. Now, it could be a problem of like, oh, not FOMO. It could trigger more FOMO, in my opinion, but at the same time, I think it's pretty cool. Now, that said, when it comes to actual value, I feel like, sadly, we are here again, because in my opinion, if you get Koleda, Koleda is not a DPS. Koleda is a stun character. Who is she stunning for? There are no 4-star fire DPSs in the game. If you want to do Belobog Industries, you could do, if you get Anton, you could do Anton Koleda. It would work. So if you happen, let's say this, caveat, if you happen to get a Belobog industry character, or specifically Anton, and then you get Koleda, or Koleda and Anton within the same pools, now you can consider keeping them. Otherwise, I feel like she drops here if you don't have a Belobog Industries characters. Or maybe if you get Grace and Koleda, maybe you get a double 5-star. That would be crazy. But you could make it work, potentially. You just need a DPS at this point, and it could be anyone, because, I mean, it kind of has to be either an Electro or a Fire. But you know what I mean, right? Because otherwise the DPS is going to lose the faction bonus, whoever you're using. So it is kind of complicated. But yeah, Koleda B, in my opinion, because we are talking about characters that you start with, right? And you are free to play. You cannot afford starting with scuffed characters that have very many problems, or relying on pure RNG. You're already rerolling. You don't need multiple layers of RNG. Oh, okay, I need Koleda, but I also need Anton, and then I need Ben, right? You don't want that. Now let's go with the last 2 characters, Rina and Lycaon. Lycaon, boom. Lycaon is extremely strong. Is one of the best stuns in the game. Is very, very fast. He applies the stun really, really fast. It doesn't have much animation. Like, it's not long. Like, anything he does is like very, 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 very quick. So for a stun character, being super quick is exactly what you want. Especially if you are planning on getting Ellen. They're insane together, because they are the same faction and the same elements. They're both of the Victoria Maid Housekeeping faction. So, and they're both eyes. So he's gonna stun, she's gonna DPS, and then you can put anyone else here supporting. Soukaku is free. So like, hello, like what the fuck, perfect team. So the god team is almost there. You just have to reroll for Lycaon. Now it might be a broken deal for you. It might be like a no deal because it's a furry. Personally, I don't give a fuck. At the moment the character is strong and fun to play, I play. Now, I wouldn't buy the character. If it was like a premium character, I wouldn't necessarily. Maybe then I would be on the fence. But in my opinion, if you reroll for Lycaon, I think it is a W in game. It is a fat W, in my opinion. Same with Rina. I feel like Rina could go here really easily. You could argue mid value, but I feel like Rina is going to be she's another support character, but she deals a lot of damage. She wants to be on field a little more than other support characters that usually, like Soukaku, you go there, you plant the flag, and then you switch off. She's made for you to switch off. But Rina wants a little bit more field time, because you want to plant all the finish doing all your puppet stuff, and then you switch. But she is hot as fuck, mommy. Looks insane. She floats around. She's really fast, so you could potentially have like a nicer beginner experience if you don't have to worry too much since she's ranged, she's really fast, so it's going to be a very smooth experience. She is Electro, so you can pair her with Ambi, and then you can do whatever you want for as a DPS. You could do Billy, you could do Ellen, you could do whatever you want. Now Ellen is going to work because of Rina, and Ambi is going to work because of Electro. Right, so you can do a lot of good things because Electro, you have 3 characters that are Electro. So compared to Grace, which is Belobog, if you are pulling Ellen, for example, Rina becomes S value. If you're pulling Zuyan, now Rina goes here. Because if you're pulling Zuyan, now you don't need Rina. She won't work as easily, and in that case, you need people like Nicole. Mandatory Nicole, because she's the only eater in the game besides Zuyan, and Zuyan is part of the police, so you're gonna have to, I believe Sokaku is part of the police as well, so you're gonna have to use Sokaku, but it's kind of weird because they don't really work too much, because Sokaku buffs ice, and she applies a lot of anomaly, so it's kind of weird, right? So you're gonna have to use Nicole to make Zuyan work, and then add someone else that is either of the cunning hairs or that is like anyone you want, right? Either of the police or the cunning hairs. So yeah, at that point, but she's a DPS, Zuyan. Let's say Zuyan is this. She's a DPS, right? So with her as a DPS, you want a supporter that also shred defense and has the same element, so she gets the same bonus, so you don't have to use Sokaku, and then you can use whatever you want, like as a support or as I don't know, like a tank or an anomaly, build up anything you want at that point. But if you are pulling Zuyan, then you are going to into another path. So in that case, maybe Grace would be up here, right? In that case, so yeah, Miyabi. I don't know what Miyabi does. I don't even know if we're gonna get her on release. In my opinion, the strongest at the moment, the strongest team is this. The strongest team is basically this: Sokaku, like Lycaon, and Ellen. Because it's Sokaku is free, you reroll for Lycaon and then you pull Ellen and you are chilling, literally. The ice team is going to destroy everything and you are going to have a really good time, okay? So in my opinion, this is the tier list for the 5 stars on release. Let me know what you think. Subscribe for more videos. So I'm gonna have a lot of videos, guides everywhere. Go check on the channel. I already have multiple guides. I will be making more guides up until release and after. Guides for the characters, guides about like systems of the game that you might want to learn. So consider following and subscribing the channel for more. And I stream live on Twitch, so if you want to watch me play the game, or even if you have maybe some questions, right? When I'm streaming live, whenever the game comes out on July 4th, I will be streaming at twitch.tv/Jakazin. So drop a follow there. I go live almost every day, so you know, if you want to say hi, appreciate it. There's a link in the description for Discord in case you're interested. That is it. Thank you for watching and see you next time.